Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. And this is your monthly horoscope for November 2021. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So up on the screen here are the major transits that are coming up here in the month of November. And what I'm going to do is skip forward to our future transits. We were a bit delayed here as I was a bit under the weather here to start off for this monthly horoscope. We're going to jump ahead to the 16th of November where the sun shifts into the sign of Scorpio. So obviously, if you are coming from tropical astrology, then you are probably thinking that the sun is already in the sign of Scorpio. This is going to be a little bit different. So here in Vedic astrology, we're following the sidereal zodiac. So here on the 16th is actually when we will see the sun shift here into the sign of Scorpio. Now, this is a very positive placement compared to our previous placement of the sun in Libra, as the sun reaches its debilitation in the sign of Libra. Here in the sign of Scorpio, the sun is happy because the sun is friends with Mars, which is the ruler here of Scorpio. So the sun is in a very powerful position as it comes into the sign of Scorpio. A lot of dynamicism, a lot of energy, a lot of drive. So if you've been feeling down throughout this sun Libra transit, this is a big time as the sun shifts into Scorpio to feel a bit more enthusiastic, a bit more optimistic, a bit more of this energy, passion, and drive as the sun shifts forward here into Scorpio. Now, one of the downsides to this placement, though, is that Scorpio is also co-ruled by Ketu, which is a very mysterious and spiritual planet that is connected to the things that are not of this physical plane. And so Scorpio is also a sign that is very much about secrets and mystery. So the sun doesn't exactly get to shine here in its position of Scorpio. It gets the power of Scorpio, but it is not in the spotlight. There's a lot that is hidden. There's a lot that's cloaked as we're coming here into the winter months. So we are entering a time of darkness here as the sun comes into Scorpio also. Now, this is a big time depending on where Scorpio is placed in your natal chart, again, of having this incredible drive and energy. And for some of you, depending on where it is in your chart, it can be a great time actually for you to shine in your career and your profession. We'll talk more about that as we get into the individual signs. On the 19th, we have a huge event of the lunar eclipse that will take place in the nakshatra of Kritika, and we'll talk more about that in a future video as well. But this is a big event because we are entering back into the eclipse season, where we had our previous eclipses back in the summer months. Now we are having our eclipses start up again here in the winter months. And this will be our first eclipse here in the winter, as we will see a solar eclipse in December as well. We'll talk about that in the future. But as this lunar eclipse is happening in the sign of Taurus in the Kritika nakshatra, this is huge because we are having a lot of energy that is happening here in Kritika as we shift forward. We'll talk more about this in a future video, but as we shift ahead into the year of 2022, we will see the nodal axis shift. Now, the nodes will stay in their placements of where they left off here in these signs of Scorpio and Taurus in the nakshatras. So as this Rahu shifts back into Aries, it will remain in the Kritika nakshatra where it began in Taurus here towards the end of this transit. We'll also see that shift happen on the opposite end too, where we see the Ketu shift back from Scorpio into Libra, and again it will be there in the Vishaka nakshatra where we see that transition from Libra to Scorpio. So this is a big event as the lunar eclipse comes up, as a lunar eclipse is always a dramatic time of changes, of endings, of conclusions, things that are changing out of our control. And so, of course, during an eclipse season, that is when Rahu and Ketu are blocking out our lights of the sun and the moon. So that is a time of complete darkness as we come into that eclipse season. Now, on the 20th, we will see Jupiter push forward into Aquarius. And we have already got a sneak peek of what this Jupiter in Aquarius energy is all about, as we had it earlier this year, and we saw it retrograde back into the sign of Capricorn. Now, Jupiter is shifting fully into the sign of Aquarius. As we move forward into the next year, it will remain in this sign of Aquarius, at some points giving us a sneak peek of that Jupiter Pisces next year also. But mostly remaining in this position, this is our new theme of Jupiter. As Jupiter comes into Aquarius, this is a much lighter energy compared to our previous placement of Jupiter in Capricorn, as Jupiter reaches its debilitation in the sign of Capricorn. So Jupiter is definitely more happy here in the sign of Aquarius. Still, this is Saturn's domain. However, Rahu is the co-ruler of Aquarius, so it gives this expansion as Jupiter steps into Aquarius when it comes to our hopes, our dreams, our movement towards the future, and this collective humanitarian pursuit as well. There's a lot that is centered around us coming together as a collective, of this advancement into the future, this advancement with technology that is centered around this Jupiter Aquarius energy. And Jupiter, of course, is our most benevolent planet. It is all about the good things. So it is here trying to get us to unite in a place of love and unity, which is a huge theme that we will see next year in 2022, is how can we come together in a space of love and unity. A lot of compassion is needed next year. We'll talk more about that in a future video. Here on the 20th, we will also see Mercury shift into Scorpio. So as Mercury comes into Scorpio, this is a very interesting position. Mercury definitely feels more comfortable in the opposite sign of Taurus, as it is much more of a practical and realistic sign. Scorpio is more about the things that are deeper, the things that are hidden, this philosophical and mystical knowledge, uncovering, investigating, digging deeper. And so Scorpio definitely is a sign that is more idealistic, that is more imaginative, that is more intuitive, where this Mercury energy wants to be rational, it wants to be practical. And so as Mercury comes into Scorpio, it's a very interesting combination. Another thing that's happening with this energy is that now Mercury is coming into a Mars-controlled sign. And Mercury and Mars in Vedic astrology, as we know, are two planets that are always competing, always fighting with one another. So as Mercury comes into the sign of Scorpio, this is definitely a time where there can be a lot of energy that is scattered all over the place. This Scorpio energy is very tumultuous. It is an energy that is all about sudden ups and downs and dramatic changes. So Mercury, being a planet that is also constantly changing, constantly moving, coming into this energy of Scorpio, can definitely stir up some issues and problems within our lives, depending on where this is placed within your chart. This can be a time where you want to find some stability, where you want to calm your nerves a bit. Scorpio is also a very karmic sign, as it is co-ruled by Ketu, where it can bring up a lot of mental distress, a lot of these insecurities and internal problems that need to be addressed. So this is a big time of looking at the things that are happening internally and making the necessary changes to move forward. Now let's go ahead and jump forward into each of your zodiac signs to see how this will affect you according to your moon sign or your ascendant sign. And if you are new to this channel, yes, we are looking at your horoscope from your ascendant or your moon sign. This is not according to your sun sign, as Vedic astrology is more so centered around the moon, and especially the ascendant is a very important position for looking at horoscopes, as the ascendant represents the physical map of your general life and your general personality. It's the things that are happening physically, externally within your world. The moon can also be a very important position to look at for the horoscope also, as the moon is telling us what is happening internally within your mind. How do you think? How do you feel about the experiences that you're going through? So I recommend looking at both of these positions of the ascendant and the moon sign for your horoscope here in November. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So starting off here, for those of you with an Aries moon or Aries ascendant, we will see the sun shift here into your 8th house. This is a very interesting position. The sun there is controlling your 5th house, which is all connected to your past life merits. And this is a big time of diving deeper into your natural gifts and talents. This can be a time of tapping into your creativity, of tapping more into any of your rituals and religious activities also. As the sun comes here into the 8th house, is very interesting as it is putting a spotlight on the things that are hidden. This 8th house, though, is strongly connected to your ascendant also, as this is a Mars ruled house, which your ascendant is also Mars controlled. And so this is a big time of looking deeper into yourself, of exploring more about your talents and gifts once again, and really looking at the areas that you want to improve upon, at the strengths that you want to use at this time. This can be a big time of using your strengths and gifts to gain money, as that 5th house is also connected to speculation, and the 8th house is connected to shared resources as well. So this can be a big business time for those of you with this placement. Now we will also see on the 19th here a lunar eclipse that will take place here in your 2nd house, moving back into that 1st house. So this big energy here of shifting in your values, in your self-worth, is taking center stage with this lunar eclipse. Big changes that you can see here that really are playing in on your worth, on your self-esteem, on who you are, and the values that you keep, your family ties, your traditions. All of this is coming in. We'll talk more about that in a future video. Here on the 20th, we will see Jupiter that has spent some time here back in your 10th house, moving forward into your 11th house. This can be a very positive time. As Jupiter was there in your 10th house, this may have been a time of feeling the weight of some heavy responsibilities and duties that you have had to take on here in your career. And as Jupiter shifts forward into the 11th house, putting a spotlight on your gains, on the support that you can get, on the network circles that you can connect to, and especially as Jupiter is controlling your 9th house, you can receive a lot of wisdom and advice on how to advance forward in a lot of these areas of your life where you can receive gains, and a lot of your dreams can come true in this area. Jupiter being a very positive and beneficial planet to you. You want to pay close attention to any advice or experiences that are coming in at this time, as it can help you to progress forward with your hopes and wishes. This energy also can help you in terms of advancing in your spirituality, as well as it is controlling that 12th house of your chart. This can be a big time of your spiritual growth and progress as an individual. You may find that you are drawn to spiritual groups, to any sort of self-help groups, any sort of motivational movements, anything along these lines that can help you in your growth and progress. This can also be a time of having a little bit of a break from those heavy responsibilities that have been taking place here in this 10th house, also as Jupiter comes forward into the 11th house. So this is a very positive transit for those of you with an Aries moon, Aries rising. You want to check to see what is going on with Jupiter within your own chart as well. On the 20th, we will also see Mercury shifting into your 8th house. Again, a big time of exploring deeper, of looking into yourself, your talents, your gifts, of how you can make money and resources. And it can also be a big time of exploring any sort of esoteric studies or doing deep research as Mercury comes into this 8th house. Hey Aries Moon and Aries Ascendant, and thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. For those of you with a Taurus rising or Taurus moon, we will start off here with the sun shifting into your 7th house. And so this is a major time of your relation with the public. This can be a time of popularity here with the sun shifting into your 7th house. This can also be a time of authority figures coming into your life, of authority figures giving you opportunities with the sun here shining on this 7th house. The sun, of course, is a huge planet in your chart as it controls your 4th house. And so this is definitely an opportunity to give you a lot of nurturing, a lot of satisfaction, a lot of happiness at this time as the sun is shifting here through the 7th house. This is a big opportunity and big moment of receiving the things that you're looking for that bring you the most happiness and security within your life. This can also be a time of having opportunities that allow you to spend, that allow you to bring some things in that you're looking to receive within your life. We will also see this lunar eclipse that will happen here through here affecting your 1st house and your 12th house. So there's a lot happening here as this lunar eclipse comes through that is centered around you reflecting and looking within yourself. We'll talk more about that in a future video. We will also see Jupiter shift here through your 10th house, which is making huge impact here on your career. As Jupiter comes here over into your 10th house, this can bring a lot of responsibility your way. A lot of people can rely on you at this time, and you can be a huge source of wisdom and advice to others within the workspace. This can also be a time of doing any sort of work that requires your intellect and your capabilities. Jupiter is a huge planet within your chart as it controls the 8th house of pulling from those deeper sources of knowledge and intellect, and even as it controls your 11th house of using your bigger ideas. This can be a huge time of this, along with others relying on you, seeking out you for a resource within this field, and even gaining some support through elders, through elder siblings, and through your network circles as it controls that 11th house. We will also see Mercury here shifting through your 7th house. So big focus that is coming in here through the 7th house. This can be a big time of collaborating, of communicating a lot with other people, with people coming in with a lot of shared interests as well, and even working alongside others as Mercury comes here into your 7th house. Mercury, of course, is controlling the 2nd house of your chart, even where your speech becomes a huge asset here during this time. We will also see this Mercury energy that controls your 5th house, so even tapping into your resources, your skills, your knowledge, your natural talents and gifts, and possible speculation bringing you in some success and popularity as Mercury comes in here. Hey Taurus Moon or Taurus Ascendant, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. For those of you with a Gemini moon or Gemini ascendant, we will see the sun start off here in your 6th house. So this is a major time to focus on your health and all of your daily routines. As the sun comes into this 6th house, this becomes a very challenging energy. The sun there controls your 3rd house. And so it is definitely a planet that grows with time. And this can be an experience of some areas that need some growth, that need some change and improvement as the sun comes here into the 6th house. A big positive of this placement is the focus on your health and on your daily routine. This can be a big time where you are fixed and very responsible in all of your routines and duties that you have to carry out in life here as the sun comes through this 6th house. But definitely watch your health. The sun is definitely related to the heart and the bones. This can be a big time of making sure that you're on top of everything during this time. We will also see on the 19th here a lunar eclipse in the Kritika Nakshatra. We'll talk more about that in a future video. We will also see Jupiter here that is shifting into the sign of Aquarius. So this will come through here, and this is making a huge impact on your ability to learn and to grow. This is a huge time where you can use your knowledge and skills to connect with others here. This Jupiter energy making a huge impact on your ninth house, and Jupiter even being a sign that is controlling your seventh house of partnerships. So there's a lot here that you can learn through your partnerships and connections at this time. This energy of Jupiter also controls your 10th house of career. So this is a great time to use your knowledge, your skills, your talents within your field of career. This can also be a time for those of you who are in school to see some advancements here, as Jupiter is controlling that 10th house of your achievements and your highest expectations here, and also making a huge impact on this ninth house of education. We will also see here on the 20th Mercury that is shifting here in this position that is centered all around your gifts and talents. This is very prominent here for many of you, as this is a big time to use your skills, to use your talents, to use your gifts moving forward. This is also a huge time to focus again on the health, as Mercury is coming through this sixth house. This can be a time where you can see some sudden shifts and changes. You may be on the go a lot, where there can be some situations where you're making quick decisions that can impact your health and your well-being. So as Mercury comes through this sixth house, paying close attention to details and paying close attention to all of your routines and everything that is needed is highly important. Mercury, of course, is your chart ruler and is controlling your fourth house. So once again, having a huge impact on all of your gifts, your talents, everything that you possess, and putting this into your workspace is heavily bringing in some success at this time. Hey Gemini Moon or Gemini Ascendant, thanks so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you like this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. For those of you with a Cancer Moon or Cancer Ascendant, we will see the Sun shift here through your fifth house. This is a great time to express your creativity, especially through speech or music, as the Sun is controlling your second house of the voice. This is a big time of also using your values, your traditions, the things that you've learned through your family, to also see some success take place as well. A lot of the values and traditions and beliefs that you have picked up along your way can help you in your success and your ability to achieve as the Sun shifts here into this fifth house. We will also see a lunar eclipse take place in the Kritika Nakshatra. We'll talk more about that in a future video. Here on the 20th, we'll also see Jupiter shift into your 8th house. This is very interesting. This can be a very deep time of spiritual work, of investigating further into the things that you want to learn and improve upon within your life, as Jupiter controls your 9th and 6th house of your chart. So great time to make improvements and adjustments within your life. We will also see Mercury that will shift here into your 5th house as well. So tapping into all of your intellectual skills and capabilities, as Mercury controls your 3rd house, is great at this time. That 3rd house dealing with courage. This is a great time to pursue anything that you want to achieve. And Mercury also controlling that 12th house, tapping into any of your healing gifts, any of your gifts that involve imagination, creativity, or anything that is involved in giving back to the community also is huge at this time, where you can see some great results. Hey Cancer Moon or Cancer Ascendant, and thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. For those of you with a Leo Moon or Leo Ascendant, we will start off here with the Sun shifting into your 4th house. This is an excellent position, as the Sun is your chart ruler, coming into the 4th house of home, of comfort, of satisfaction. And so as the Sun comes in here, this is definitely lighting up your home space and your level of happiness and comfort. This is a great placement for your confidence, your self-esteem, And this may be a time where you have a lot of responsibilities within the home environment. It can also be a time of big spending as well, especially any spending that has to do with your physical appearance, your body. Anything that you want to do in terms of your looks and your beauty is being heavily highlighted at this time. We will also see a lunar eclipse here on the 19th. We'll talk more about that in a future video. And here on the 20th, we will see Jupiter shift into your 7th house. So relationships getting hugely highlighted at this time. This can be a big time of expanding your social networks with this Jupiter coming into the 7th house, of some big popularity coming through. Jupiter, of course, is a very positive planet in your chart as it is controlling that 5th house. Also, Jupiter controls your 8th house, so this can be a big time of other people within your relationships and connections transforming you on a profound level, and also you having a profound effect on others, inspiring them, motivating them, transforming them through these connections. So a lot of transformation and improvement coming through within these connections and relationships, a lot of learning and broadening your horizons and going through these different experiences. So this is opening up your world to other people and connections at this time in a big way, even romantic connections being highlighted as Jupiter controls that 5th house. This can also be a time of sharing any of your talents, any of your gifts. This can be a big time where any sort of business partnerships or anything involving shared resources is very positive here as Jupiter comes through this 7th house. We will also see Mercury that will shift here into your 4th house as well. Excellent position for intelligence. The 4th house, of course, is the house that is related to education and formal schooling as well. Mercury coming into this house, definitely giving a huge focus on your knowledge, on your gifts, on your talents. And Mercury, of course, is a huge planet as it controls your 11th house of your chart, where it's putting a huge focus on any of your gifts, your talents, your ideas, your ability to collaborate with the world at large and these big social networks. Also, as Mercury controls your 2nd house of your resources, your values, you have a lot to invest and to put into the world. And as Mercury comes into this 4th house, there's a lot that you can definitely benefit from through your gifts and talents. Hey Leo Moon or Leo Ascendant, and thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. For those of you with a Virgo Moon or Virgo Ascendant, we will see the sun shift here into your 3rd house. This is an excellent position for your intelligence and your skills. The sun, of course, is controlling your 12th house. So for a lot of you, this is a big moment of coming out of this place of hiding and this place of hesitation, and really encouraging this confidence and self-expression. The sun back in that 12th house really buries your ego away, where a lot of you are very much reserved and more so on the quiet, and the sun coming here in the 3rd house, making things much more loud and bold at this time. A big time of opportunities and self-expression, and really pursuing the things that you want in terms of your career and the things that you want to achieve. This is huge. And on the 19th, we will also see a lunar eclipse take place in the Kritika Nakshatra. We'll talk more about that in a future video. Coming up here on the 20th, we will see Jupiter shift forward into Aquarius. This is having a huge impact on many of you as this is taking place in your 6th house. And so this is a big time where you can gain through your service, your skills, your work life. Jupiter definitely is a planet that has a huge impact on you as it controls that 4th house along with the 7th house. So this is a big time of anything connected to your relationships, anything that is connected to any sort of connections at this time, anything familiar to you, and any people who are coming to you at this time through that 7th house, bring you great opportunities for you to expand and to grow within your career and your business. So this is a great time of growth, for expansion, for your confidence, your self-assertiveness, for going through for the opportunities that you want to achieve. We will also see Mercury that will shift here into that third house as well. So once again, your communication skills, your confidence, everything is getting increased at this time. Mercury, of course, is controlling your first house and your 10th house. Big moment of your career, your self-esteem, your confidence, your ability to go for the things that you want is coming on an increase at this time. Mercury, being one of the most beneficial planets here in your chart, is having a huge impact at this time. Hey Virgo Moon or Virgo Ascendant, and thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. For those of you with a Libra moon or Libra ascendant, this can be a big time of being very authoritative and taking leadership roles as the sun shifts here into your second house of your speech, and the sun controlling your 11th house, which is connected to your career, your hopes and dreams, your network circles. So this is definitely a big time where people can look up to you, where you can have a very profound impact on other people within your work field through your speech, through your ability to lead others, to have a very inspiring impact on others through this time. And a lot of people can lean on you for support, especially through your elder siblings or any sort of connection with elders at this time. The sun coming through this second house also puts a huge spotlight on your values, on the things that you've grown up with, and how that will affect the larger scope of your social networks and your career. We will also see a lunar eclipse coming up here in the nakshatra of Kritika. We'll talk more about that in a future video. On the 20th here, we will see Jupiter shift into Aquarius. This is having a huge impact on you as this is coming into your 5th house, which is connected to your knowledge and your past life skills. So this is definitely a time where you can expand upon any of your gifts, your talents, your capabilities as Jupiter enters into this 5th house, really having a positive effect on you. Even though Jupiter is a bit of a challenging planet here as it controls your 3rd house, this definitely is a planet that is bringing a lot of challenges and difficulties for those of you with a Libra ascendant. This, even with this energy being one that is controlling that 6th house as well, is definitely an energy that can grow over time and requires a lot of work and effort. But this Jupiter energy helping you to expand in these areas of your talents, of your gifts, of your skills, and really putting it out into the world. We will also see on the same day, Mercury shifting here into your 2nd house. So once again, your speech is being highlighted heavily. And as Mercury comes into the 2nd house, it even increases your intellect and your ability to persuade and to connect and to relate with others. This Mercury energy coming into the 2nd house, really putting a spotlight on your ability to really use your words, your speech, and your intellect in a profound way. Mercury coming into the 2nd house also can be a time of a lot of shifts happening as well. This can be a time where you are traveling or moving, especially with Mercury controlling that 9th house of the chart and the 12th house. This can be a time of traveling, a time of leaving an area, of moving, changing your location with Mercury coming in there. It can also be a time of some unexpected shifts. So you want to pay close attention to your resources, your finances, your stability, as some things can fluctuate and change at this time. Hey Libra Moon or Libra Ascendant, and thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. For those of you with a Scorpio moon or Scorpio ascendant, the sun will be shifting into your 1st house. Big time for self-esteem and confidence increase as the sun comes into this 1st house, lighting up your personality and appearance. The sun also is your ruler of your 10th house, so you can come off as very authoritative, very much a leader, and very much dominating at this time. You want to be careful of your ego as that sun is high up in the 10th house. This can definitely bring about a lot of confidence and a lot of this ego boost that happens here as the sun comes in the 1st. But excellent position for leadership, for confidence, for your ability to manage your life in a huge way as the sun comes into the 1st house. This is really putting a huge spotlight on you as an individual. We also will see a lunar eclipse take place here on the 19th. On the 20th, we will see Jupiter shift into Aquarius. So this is coming into your 4th house. Excellent position for Jupiter, especially as Jupiter is a huge benefic in your chart as it controls your 2nd and 5th house. Huge resource to many of you with a Scorpio moon or Scorpio ascendant. As Jupiter comes into this 4th house, this can definitely be a time of success, a time of bringing in resources, and even a time of having the resources to spend and to enjoy life. Big time of happiness and enjoyment as Jupiter comes into this 4th house. It also can be a big time of relaxation, a time of going inward as Jupiter's aspecting all of your private houses of the chart. Jupiter giving off a 5th aspect over to that 8th house and a 9th aspect to your 12th house. So big time of spirituality, of going inward, of finding that space within yourself. Jupiter also, of course, is impacting your 10th house on the opposite aspect as well. So this is a big time of career, using your knowledge, using your resources, using your skills to expand yourself into the career field. This is a big time where you can bring in some resources and wealth at this time. We will also see on the same day Mercury is coming into your 1st house, so you can become much more social at this time also as Mercury comes into this 1st house of self, definitely increasing your communication skills, your ability to be charming, to be friendly, to be playful. This may be a time where you're more cheerful, much more interactive with Mercury coming in the 1st. And this can also have a great effect on your appearance as well. You want to be careful though, because Mercury definitely is a difficult planet as it controls your 8th and 11th house. You can see some ups and downs happening here. So you want to pay close attention to your spending habits, to your interaction in your social circles, and how that is affecting you. Hey Scorpio Moon or Scorpio Ascendant, and thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. For those of you with a Sagittarius moon or Sagittarius ascendant, we will start off here with the sun shifting back into your 12th house. This is definitely a time of going inward, of reflecting. The sun is a huge planet in your chart as it is controlling your 9th house, but as it comes back into this 12th house, big time for spirituality, for retreating inward, for doing some self-improvement, some internal work within yourself. So that 9th house coming in with religion, with philosophy, with spirituality, and the sun coming back into this 12th house, definitely bringing you into an internal space. This can also be a space of going on vacation, of traveling, of going into a private enclosed space, of gathering in with spiritual groups at this time. Definitely a time of experience, of learning, of going inward and reflecting on yourself. We will also see a lunar eclipse coming up in the nakshatra of Kritika. We'll talk more about that as we get closer here. We will also see Jupiter shifting forward into Aquarius. So this is Jupiter coming into your 3rd house. Jupiter, of course, is your chart ruler and your 4th house ruler. So Jupiter is very beneficial here in your chart. And as it comes here into this 3rd house location, this is a big time of communication, of learning, of discovering, of exploring things. This 3rd house, of course, deals with courage and the ability to put yourself out into the world. And so as Jupiter comes into this 3rd house, this really opens up your experience and your opportunity to learn, to grow, and to really go out and take on opportunities within the world. This is a huge opportunity that is opening up here as Jupiter comes into this 3rd house for you. We will also see Mercury, which will shift back into this 12th house as well. So huge theme that is centered around your learning, your experience, your opportunities at this time. Really big time to improve upon yourself and to make necessary changes. This Mercury, of course, is controlling your 7th and 10th house. And so the career and public is getting highlighted as Mercury comes into this 12th house. But interestingly, it's back in your 12th house. And so a lot of you can deal with people on a level of healing, of connecting, of supporting. Some of you getting involved with charity and things that are involved with really helping and supporting people who are in need at this time. And this can be highly related to your career field as well, where people are looking for your support, your nourishment, your ability to connect and to heal people at this time. This can also be a time where your relationships and connections are very healing for you and are revealing a lot that needs to be worked on from behind the scenes as this 12th house gets highlighted. This can also be a time of having a break or having an opportunity to learn, or something that is involved with mentorship or some sort of travel that gives you the experience that is needed within your work field also. Hey Sagittarius Moon or Sagittarius Ascendant, thanks so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you like this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. For those of you with a Capricorn Moon or Capricorn Ascendant, this will be the sun shifting into your 11th house. And so this really puts a spotlight on your network circles, on your ability to connect with one another, and a lot that you can gain through others and through your career, as well as the sun controls your 8th house of shared resources. This can be a big time of bringing in resources and gaining some money in those spaces. This can also be a tricky time as the sun controls that 8th house, where you may see some ups and downs in your success and achievements, some moments of highs and lows in this area. The 8th house is very interesting in your chart, as the sun really brings down your ego and self-esteem with this position, where many of you are very much for the people, for the public, and not so much self-oriented. This definitely is encouraging you to put yourself out there a little bit more at this time within your social networks and with the opportunities that are coming in as the sun shifts into this 11th house. We will also see a lunar eclipse coming up here in Critica. We'll talk more about that in a future video. We will also see Jupiter that is shifting here into your 2nd house. And so once again, this can be a big time where your resources can be increased. Jupiter, of course, is also back there controlling your 12th house, so you want to be careful about any losses or expenditure at this time. Jupiter coming into the 2nd house definitely can encourage some spending, so you want to pay attention to your resources. But this can bring some luck your way. It can bring some resources and some money into your world as well. Jupiter, as it is there controlling your 3rd house, definitely is encouraging you to, again, to put yourself out there more and to share some of your skills and talents to bring in some resources. We will also see Mercury, which will shift back into your 12th house as well. So as Mercury comes back into this 12th house, this is definitely a big time to look at yourself and to look at the areas of your life that you want to change and to improve upon. Mercury, of course, is controlling your 6th house, which is all about your self-improvement and your ability to perfect those areas that need some work and adjustment. Mercury also is controlling Virgo as well in your chart, which is putting a huge spotlight on your talents, on your gifts, on your ability to express yourself, also as Virgo is controlling that 9th house of your chart. This is a big time to really explore your options and to put yourself out there more. Mercury definitely is a beneficial planet that's trying to help you to expand and broaden your horizons, to bring in new opportunities at this time. Hey Capricorn Moon or Capricorn Ascendant, thanks so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you like this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. For those of you with an Aquarius Moon or Aquarius Ascendant, this is a big career moment as the sun shifts into your 10th house of Scorpio. The sun is controlling your 7th house. So as it comes into this 10th house, this is definitely putting a huge spotlight on the public, as those 10th and 7th houses are definitely connected to the public, your career, and your impact on other people. So as the sun comes here into this 10th house, this is a big moment of career, of the public, where you can come off as someone who is very authoritative, a leader, a pioneer at this time, where you can have a huge impact on others. This is definitely a high up position for the sun, so you want to be cautious of ego at this time. But the sun definitely helps you to definitely gain some confidence and self-esteem here in the career field and have a huge impact on others where others will look up to you. This can also be a time of an authority figure coming in, giving you some advice. Also, with the sun coming into this 10th house, having a huge impact where you can partner up with authority figures and gain some wisdom and insight that can help you climb the ladder. We will also see an lunar eclipse coming up here on the 19th in the nakshatra of Kritika. We'll talk more about that in a future video. On the 20th, we'll also see Jupiter shift ahead here into your first house, as it spends some time in the first house already for you, so many of you have experience with this is like here. It also has spent a lot of time back in that 12th house though, and so there's a lot that is coming here to the forefront that has been hidden for a while that's coming into your awareness. But as Jupiter comes into the first house, you can definitely come off as someone who's very knowledgeable, someone to look up to, someone who's very protective and nurturing, a lot of good qualities that you're exuding as Jupiter comes into this first house, and this can really help to expand your world and give you many opportunities to learn, to grow, to progress, to meet different people, and to travel even, or to gain some experiences within your life along the lines of knowledge and gifts that you can gain, as Jupiter is aspecting all of those houses that deal with your gifts, your talents, your intellect, and your ability to learn, grow, and expand. This is a very positive position as Jupiter comes in here. Jupiter even is a very complicated sign for you, as you are a Saturn controlled sign, but Jupiter is definitely controlling that 11th house where it can help to expand and broaden your horizons and open you up to many experiences and network circles. Jupiter even controlling your second house can help with your resources and finances as well, but of course that is a Marca house, so you want to be careful of any spending at this time. We will also see Mercury shift forward into your 10th house as well, so once again, big career opportunity, big impact you can have on others. As Mercury comes into this 10th house, you can even come off as someone who is very charming, very friendly, very much skilled in your communication here in this career front, and a lot of your talent, your creativity, your skills, your intellect can be utilized at this time to help you as well. This Mercury and energy having a huge impact on you as it controls the 5th house of your chart. This definitely is helping you at this time to progress forward, and this can be a big time of gaining some resources through others and through your business, also as Mercury controls that 8th house of the chart as well. Hey Aquarius Moon or Aquarius Ascendant, thanks so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you like this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. For those of you with a Pisces Moon or Pisces Ascendant, the sun will shift here into your 9th house. This is an excellent position for learning and for your education, where many of you can find that you achieve great heights at this time. For those of you who are graduating or who are progressing here, the sun can really help you out, especially as the sun is here in your 6th house, helping you to grow, helping you to make improvements and adjustments. This can definitely be a great time with the sun here in this 9th house, helping you to find solutions to problems and to deal with things on an intellectual level. We will also see a lunar eclipse come through here in the nakshatra of Kritika. This will take place on the 19th. From there, we will also see Jupiter enter into your 12th house of your chart here in the sign of Aquarius. This is a very interesting position, as Jupiter is your chart ruler and also controlling your 10th house of your chart. As it comes back here into the 12th house, this can definitely be a time of some spiritual growth and some growth on an internal level where you are actually going inward and improving upon yourself. This can be a difficult time, however, in terms of your career and your ability to gain results in the public, as this is coming back into this hidden house of the 12th. We will also see Mercury that will shift forward here into your 9th house as well, helping you in terms of your communication skills and your intellect. Education is being hugely highlighted at this time, as this is your 9th house that is getting heavily highlighted with the Sun and Mercury here. Mercury, of course, is a bit of a difficult planet in your chart, as it controls your 7th house and your 4th house. That 7th house being a Marca house. However, this is definitely helping you in your close connections and going inward once again with that 4th house getting highlighted. This is a time for questions and answers getting resolved for many of you, in a time of really expressing your gifts and talents to the public through your intellect and through your education skills. You want to be very much persistent in your career, as that can definitely be a place where you can see some downsides, but keep in mind that this is leading to your success. And even next year, we will see Jupiter shift forward into your 1st house, where this can help you in a very profound way. Hey Pisces Moon or Pisces Ascendant, and thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video.